students, welcome back to my class. So we are going to start another lesson of the class 8, which is nothing but the polar regions. In this class or else in this lesson we are going to learn each and everything about this region, which is nothing but the polar regions. So what are the polar regions and how the living style is there, who are the peoples who are used to live there, what are their lifestyle and how they are going to survive, each and everything we are going to discuss and elaborate in this chapter, the polar regions. So without any further delay, let's start the lesson. So in this chapter you would be reading about a region which is entirely different from any place we have seen so far in the class 6th and 7th classes. So it is a region which is entirely and completely different, which we have seen the places till now in the classes. Maybe you have read in the previous classes like 6th and 7th. This region has continuous nights and continuous days for many months. So I hope you are getting the name of these regions. In the last lessons also I have given a clue what are those regions which are having 6 months days and 6 months nights. So what those regions are called, you might be getting a little bit of hints or clues. These regions will be having continuous nights and continuous days for months. There are no sunrise and sunset like we have in our country. We have daily sunrise and sunset in each and every country. Can you imagine such a place? So can you imagine a place like this where the what we can say is which is completely different from any place, and the weather climatic conditions are entirely different, and it has continuous nights and days for many months. Can you imagine which place is this? So this region is very cold, extremely cold, so cold that only ice and snow can be seen. So the cold, what we can see in this cold, only the ice and the snow can be seen. Ice on the land, ice on the streams, ice on the rivers, and even the entire thing is frozen, like where you have answered about the frozen continent. Can you answer the continent which is entirely frozen? Yes, which is, everybody knows the continent which is extremely frozen is the Antarctica. So this is the region that we are going to discuss in detail about, which is nothing but the polar regions. Two polar regions are there, Arctic region and the Antarctic region. So these are the two regions which we will be discussing in detail about all this. Okay, where is the polar region? We have to get to know about this first. So closer view of polar region, map 2 is given in your textbook. As you can see the picture also in the map 1, polar regions in the northern hemisphere on the world map, that is also given, and in the map 2 closer view of the polar region. Where is the polar region? You have seen the North Pole and the South Pole on the globe. You are familiar with the two poles, which is the north and the south. The region which lies near the poles is called the polar region. Okay, so the regions which are very close to the poles on the globe are called the polar region. You will be reading about the northern polar region in this chapter. Look at the map 1. So in your reader, just look at the map 1. It shows the North Pole and its surroundings regions. The entire polar region has been shaded lightly. So entire whatever the polar region is given in the map 1, it is shaded lightly for your better understanding. Notice the boundary of this region. This is known as the Arctic Circle. So if you see the map 1, you will able to notice the boundaries of these regions. So that boundaries are nothing but the Arctic Circle. Arctic Circle, which are the boundaries of this region. Boundaries of this region. The northern part of the continents within the polar region is known as the tundra. If you see the globe, the northern part, the upper part of the continents within the polar region is known as the tundra. So whatever the continents are present in the northern part within the polar region, which is very close to the polar region, the continents which are very close to the polar region in the north side as known as the tundra. I hope it is clear that whatever the continents are present in the northern part and which are very close to the polar region as known as tundra. What do you mean by tundra? Continents which are very close to the polar region. Continents close to polar regions. I hope it is clear where is the polar region, what is the Arctic Circle, and what do you mean by tundra. Okay, so what does mean by tundra? Tundra means very cold. I hope it is clear. What do you mean by tundra? It means very cold. Since the tundra region gets very little sunlight, it has a unique type of vegetation known as the tundra vegetation. So what do we mean by vegetation? We are going to discuss further in this class. Okay, so this region will be having a very less sunlight, not like our countries where we get the sunlight daily, where the sun sets, where the sun rises daily. It is not like that in such regions, tundra regions. The sunlight will be going to reach in a very little amount. It has a unique type of vegetation, yes, which is known as the tundra vegetation. So the next topic that we are going to discuss is the seasons in the tundra. So what are the seasons that will occur in the tundra region? Let's discuss. In the tundra region, it is extremely cold. As we know that tundra means very cold, it is difficult to even imagine the cold in the tundra. So you cannot even imagine also how much cold, how much frozen and icy the weather, the atmosphere it is. In India, the sun rises and sun sets every day, but this does not happen in the tundra. So this process is not going to happen, doesn't happen at all in the tundra region. It is almost dark throughout November, December and January. Dark throughout November, December and January. Since the sun does not rise at all, this is the winter of the tundra. In this months, the sun doesn't rise at all. So these 3 months will be having winter season. These 3 months in the tundra regions, November, December and January, winter season will be there. Okay. This is the winter of the tundra and it is bitterly cold. It is extremely cold, freeze water and to become ice. So what is happening? So basically when we will having winter season, only the cold we will feel. But in these regions it is completely opposite. What they are having? It is extremely cold. Water freezes to ice. Normal water will get freezes and convert it into ice. And in this extreme cold, the water of the rivers, lakes and seas freezes. So in this months, what is happening? The water freezes, the seas, lakes and what else? Rivers freezes completely. Strong cold wind blow and there is heavy snowfall. So in winter season, what is happening? The water is getting freeze up. The seas, lakes and rivers are getting freeze up. Strong cold winds and blows and there is going to be a heavy rainfall. Yes, heavy rainfall. There is heavy snowfall. So what is happening in the winter season? Cold winds are blowing and there is heavy snowfall. In our countries, what is happening? We doesn't feel or else able to look the snowfall. We cannot get the snowfall in our countries, but this is the tundra regions. So in this, if they are facing the winter season, they have to go through such things. The water, the rivers, everything is getting frozen up, and they have to face the heavy snowfall. Due to the severe cold, dark and icy conditions, all the plants die. So as the climatic conditions, the atmosphere and environment is so much of extremely cold, what is happening? It is like severe cold, dark and icy condition is going to be take place. What the things are getting damaged here is all the plants die. Even birds and animals leave this region and migrate elsewhere. So in the winter season, what is happening? This is nothing but the winter season. In 3 months in the tundra region, winter seasons will be there. So in this months, the birds will going to migrate to another place, and the animals and the birds will migrate to another place, and the plants will also die in this 3 months. The whole region becomes dark, deserted and desolate. Desolate is nothing but the thing which leads to damage and spoiling. So these 3 months are going to be a very, very, what you can say, spoiling months, as the plants are dying, the animals and the birds are going to migrate, the water bodies are getting frozen up, and main thing is the whole region will become dark, deserted and desolate. Okay, so let's move to the another subtopic, which is nothing but the summer. So just now we have discussed the seasons, how the seasons are going to happen in the tundra region. Let's see the another season is the summer. Just now we have discussed about the winter season. Let's see how the summer will be there in these polar regions. The sun begins to shine in the tundra around February to March. From November to January, they will be having winter season, and from February to March, summer season is there. In the beginning, the sun shines for a maximum for an hour. So what is happening here is, in the beginning, the sun is going to shine for a maximum of an hour and a half, and then sets. So shuru mein what is happening? In the beginning, the sun will going to shine for only for 1.5 hours and then sets. Then what is happening? Later, gradually lengthens to 2 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 16 hours and finally 24 hours. So in the summer season is going to start from the Feb to March. So in the beginning, the sun will going to set just for an 1.5 hour. As soon as the days will start passing, it will increase its length. If from 2 hours to 6, then 8, 16, then finally 24 hours. Then for almost 3 months, from May to July, the sun never sets. Okay, so from May to July, sun never sets. Okay, it shines all 24 hours. So from this month from May to July, the sun is not going to set, and the sun will be available for continuously this month. For continuously the sun will be there from May to July. But the sun does not rise overhead, it just hovers a little above the horizon. The horizon is the place where the earth appears to meet the sky. Since the sun does not go high up in the sky, it is never very warm. So in the summers also, they don't get enough sunlight. Yes, the sun does not go much high up in the sky, it is never very warm. So how much summer is going to happen, how the heat and hotness will be there in our countries, the thing is not going to happen in these polar regions. If they are having the summer season also, they don't get that much of heat and that much of warmness in their regions. Even in the 3 months of summer, it is cold. Yes, in the summer also उतनी ज़्यादा गर्मी वहाँ पे बिल्कुल भी नहीं होती है जितनी minimum at least वहाँ पर होना है. They won't get that much of warmness in these months also. If at all the sun is going to be present for 3 months and continuously 24 hours, they don't get enough sunlight and that much of hotness or heat warmness. Even in the 3 months of summer, they will be feeling and having the cold. But it is comparatively less cold than the winter months. But if we compare the months and compare the atmosphere and the climatic conditions, these 3 months will be having less cold than the winter months. So what will happen in the summer is the water which has gotten up frozen, the water bodies जो completely frozen हो गई थी winter season में, will start melting and blow and flow. All the water bodies will start melting and begin to flow. The lakes fill up and a huge chunk of ice break off and float into the ocean as icebergs. So what is happening in the summer is the lakes will fill up and a huge chunks of ice breaks off and float into the ocean like icebergs. I hope everybody knows what are icebergs. It is a kind of ice pieces, big pieces. Yes, the land which was frozen and desolate in winter comes alive. Yes, so in winter what was happening? Completely the land was frozen up, deserted, desolated, everything. Birds and animals used to migrate. The plants will die in the winters. So the land which was frozen in the winter will become alive with color during summer. So the plants will get started living in the summer season. When summer approaches in the polar region, many multicolored plants, lychees, grass, shrubs and berries sprout all around. So the vegetation process will also start occurring in the summer season. It is a blessing for the polar regions and the people who are living in the polar regions. For them it is a huge blessing. Whatever they are getting, that is a beneficial for them. They can able to grow the plants, the water will start melting and the animals and the birds will start coming into their regions, in their home places, and the plants will start developing and the berries, shrubs all sprouts around. They bear flowers and fruits of different colors. When the plants will start living, when the plants will start developing, what will happen? The trees will form, the leaves will nourish and the fruits of different colors will grow. Many birds and animals come to feed on them. So many birds and animals will also come to their places in the summer region, and those animals and birds will come and feed on those plants so that they can nourish easily. Okay, so the next subtopic is the vegetation. Vegetation, what do you mean by vegetation? Let's discuss about this in detail. So just now we have learned about the summer season in the polar regions, winter seasons in the polar region, how things are going to die and how these things are going to alive in different regions we have discussed. Let's move to the vegetation. Vegetation is nothing but how the plants and trees are going to occur in the polar regions is called the vegetation. Due to the cold, the upper soil surface of the region is frozen into a rock-like state all through the year. So let's see what is meant by permafrost. So just now I have read the line. So due to the cold, the upper soil surface of these regions is completely frozen and converted into the rocks. So upper soil upper soil surface of these regions, what is happening? It is completely converting into frozen up and becomes like a rock, hard rock like state all through the year. Throughout the year, that upper soil of these regions will become very hard, will become very frozen like a rock throughout the year. So this is called the permafrost. So many things are happening in these regions. Why? Because due to the extreme cold conditions in these polar regions, they are having so much of things, they are experiencing so much of damage, so much of spoil it is going to occur, spoiling the plants, spoiling the animals and life of the people who are living in those regions. So there are certain things, there are so many things are happening in these regions due to very cold climatic conditions. The upper soil of these regions are becoming like a rock. Throughout the year it is going to be like that only, which is called the permafrost. As there is little soil, only some plants can grow. Yes, we can say that only a little soil is available which will provide benefits. So little soil, only some plants can be grown in these regions. So vegetation is very less. Vegetation very less in polar regions, we can consider this due to the climatic conditions. So the plants will grow in a very less quantity. The underground soil being hard, it is difficult for trees to grow. As we have discussed what is meant by permafrost, due to the permafrost only it is difficult for the trees to grow. Even if they manage to grow, the trees get damaged and uprooted with the strong winds and storms. So if they try to grow also, they get damaged. They cannot grow or nourish easily. If they are trying also and uprooting also, they cannot grow easily. Due to the strong winds and storms, the things will get hanging, or else the trees will get damaged, or else it will get cutted from in between. So many issues can happen due to the strong winds and storms. So most of the tundra region is treeless. As I said that the vegetation is very less. So after reading all the things regarding the vegetation, we can consider that tundra region is treeless, very less in tundra region. Very less trees in polar region, or else you can say the tundra region. So the vegetation process is less and the seasons are very what you can say pathetic. Summers are also pathetic and the winters are also very much pathetic conditions are there in these regions. What we have learned till now is these regions are completely different from throughout the other countries. You cannot compare these regions from any other country. So without any delay, let's move to another subtopic, is the people of the tundra regions. So till now what we have discussed, where is the polar region, how are the seasons are there, what are the seasons in those regions, how are they going to work, and the plant life also we have discussed till now. So let's see who are going to live in these regions. Okay, so the next subtopic is the people of tundra region. So who are the peoples who are going to live here is nothing but the Eskimos. Eskimos used to live in the tundra regions. The Arctic is a region of vast treeless plains, icy seas and barren rocky islands. So Arctic is a region. Arctic region, Antarctic region, we are familiar with these names. So Arctic is a region of a very vast, huge and treeless. There are having plains, icy seas and barren rocky islands. This harsh cold land is the home of the Eskimos. So where is the home where the Eskimos are living is nothing but the Arctic region. So this harsh cold land is the home of these Eskimos. They live in the scattered settlements in Greenland, Canada, Alaska and Siberia. So they are having their settlements in the places like Greenland, Canada, Alaska and Siberia. For thousands of years, the Eskimos were isolated from other people. Isolated means completely separated. So, for thousands of years, these Eskimos have been treated completely in a different way, separated from other people. So, how they are going to live and what is their survival, उनका survival कैसा होता है? They lived by hunting and fishing. So, to survive their life, to live the life, they have to work and do hunting and fishing, and they develop a way of life well suited to their homeland. So, they are going to do that work only which suits their homeland. So, what is their homeland? Their homeland is Arctic region. So, how is Arctic region? Just now we have discussed harsh, very cold, icy, treeless, very vast region it is, and it is their homeland. Arctic region is the homeland for Eskimos. How the homeland is, what the homeland is, as per the requirements they are going to work and survive their land. So, fishing and hunting requires in this region. So, in this way जो इन लोग की ज़रूरत है in these regions में, how the Arctic region and Antarctic regions are, two regions are there, what are the things are happening in this region, they have to do that work only to survive their lives. The Eskimos' traditional way of life developed to meet the challenges of the far north. They have to meet the so many challenges, they have to go through so many difficulties, obstacles. Why? Because they have to do so much of hard work to live their lives in such a, what we can say, very different regions. There are two main groups referred to as Eskimos, Inuit and Yupik. So, in Eskimos also they are having two groups, dividing into two groups. So, what are the names of those two main groups are Inuit and Yupik. Two groups, Inuit and Yupik. Inuit in the language means the people or the real people. So, in their language, Inuit means the people or the real people. This is the meaning of the Inuit in their own language. Yes. So, let us see. The people or the real people, the Eskimos are descendants of Siberia. Though the Eskimos are the people, descendant means the people of Siberia, now a part of Russia in the northern Asia. So, right now the Eskimos are the people of the South Siberia and became a part of Russia in the northern Asia. Eskimos are having their own languages which have been spoken for thousands of years. So, they are divided into two groups. These are the names of the groups, Inuit and Yupik, and they are also spoken in their own language for thousands of years, but they were not written in the modern times. Their language has been so popular from thousands of years, they are speaking their language, but till now it has not been written in the modern times. There are three main languages in the Eskimos' life. So, what are the main three languages that they used to speak is the Aleut, Yupik and Inupik. So, the Eskimos first entered North America about 5,000 years ago. So, they have entered into the America about 5,000 years ago, crossing the Bering Straits from Asia. So, from where they have came from crossing the Bering Straits from Asia. Today the Eskimo population is not large, but it is growing. Till now the Eskimo population is not much large, but it is still now growing day by day. So, this is the people who are living in the tundra regions, which are nothing but the Eskimos. We have discussed in today's class is where is the polar region, how the seasons are there in the tundra region, and how the plants vegetation process is going to happen in these polar regions. And next subtopic today we have covered is the people. Who are the people? who are the people living in the tundra region, which is nothing but the Eskimos. In the further classes, we are going to discuss about the working and the lifestyle of the Eskimos, what the work they used to do to survive their lives, and what things they have to go through and meet the challenges to survive their life in these extreme cold regions. So don't forget to revise these subtopics, which is very essential to know the polar region and the life of the polar regions who are living there. So till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.